everyone, this is Dr. Jones from Drbeen.com. In this lecture, we will look at the structure of the eyeball. In this lecture, I shall discuss the walls of the eyeball, the contents of the eyeball, and finally I'll explain the main vasculature supply and venous drainage of the eye. So let's start. The globe-shaped eyeball houses the structures responsible for vision. The eyeball lays in the anterior part of the orbit. Surrounding the internal components of the eyeball are the walls of the eyeball. They consist of three distinct layers. The first layer is an outer fibrous layer, the second is a middle vascular layer, and the third is an inner retinal layer. The first layer we will discuss is the outermost fibrous layer. Posteriorly, and approximately 85% of the fibrous layer is called the sclera. This is the white part of the eye and is where the extraocular muscles attach that move the eye. Anteriorly, the sclera becomes the transparent cornea. When light enters the eye, it is reflected by the cornea. The next layer is the vascular coat. This is made up of the choroid, ciliary body, and iris, and the vascular coat is the middle layer. Posteriorly, the vascular coat is labelled the choroid, which is a thin vascular membrane lining the sclera. The choroid is pierced posteriorly by the optic nerve. At the front of the eye, the choroid becomes the coloured donut-shaped iris, as well as the ciliary body. The ciliary body controls the shape of the lens and contributes to the formation of aqueous humour. The iris, on the other hand, has a circular aperture in its centre. Does anyone know the name of the circular aperture? So great if you got that, it's the pupil. So the circular aperture in the centre of the iris is called the pupil. The iris is located between the lens and the cornea. The innermost layer of the eyeball is called the inner retinal layer. The retina is composed of two cellular layers, the neural layer and the pigmented layer. The neural layer is the inner part of the retina. This contains photoreceptors such as rods and cones, which all detect light. The neural layer also contains neurons that the photoreceptor stimulates these neurons in order to send signals to the brain. The second layer, the pigmented layer, is the outer layer of the retina. It's attached to the choroid layer and acts to support the neural layer. It continues around the whole inner surface of the eye. Anteriorly, the pigmented layer continues, but the neural layer does not. This part is known as the non-visual retina. If we go posteriorly and laterally, both layers of the retina are present. So the both layers being the neural and the pigmented layer. When these two layers are present, this is known as the optic part of the retina. The optic part of the retina can be viewed during ophthalmoscopy. The centre of the retina is marked by an area known as the macula. This area is yellowish in colour and is highly pigmented. The macula contains a depression called the fovea, which has a high concentration of light detecting cells, and it is an area responsible for